I might swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa. It's short on tight cause I'm tweaking it, bitch, I let it shit go. And I heard that she wanna show. I like how I'm making this video as if I don't have a retro slop outfit. I'm literally just realizing this now, like, as I'm recording. In my defense, though, let me back myself up real quick. I've been playing on the same account for 13 years straight. Yeah, if anything, I find this whole guest fit, like, genuinely kind of nostalgic, right? I think this fit's kind of tough. I literally have the rare hats to back it up, too. Now, y'all want to see some genuine retro slop? I got y'all, bro. This is a side of retro slop y'all don't want to admit to. This was my OG fit when I first started playing Roblox, bro. What is this? The pants don't even match the shirt at all, bro. What? Me when my retro slop fit isn't a cute twink with tuft hair for some reason. I'm not even gonna lie, I genuinely thought this fit was so tough back then. Like, I would wear this so often. Yeah, so apparently I played as MC Ride for some reason back then. Dude, low-key, I pioneered retro slop before it even became a term, bro. This was my fit in, like, 2018. Tell me this shit ain't tough, bro. You can't even lie. I'm an OG retro slopper. At the end of the day, this is still, like, a very, like, TikTok-ass opinion, whereas, like, one opinion goes viral and all of a sudden everyone starts believing that way, which is why I kind of have a neutral stance on this whole thing. I see why people hate this kind of stuff, but at the same time, I do think it's kind of overhated, and you know what? Allow me to just explain today. Anyways, how's it going, guys? Peep has the AC on in the background here. Yeah, there's supposed to be a huge heat wave in Chicago today. Truth be told, I'd rather record with that AC on in the background than die of heat stroke. So let's just hope that's not annoying. Retro slop is a new type of slang that's been thrown around recently. I don't think there is an exact definition to it. Truth be told, I think it's another thing where people just hate it, so they just slap the word slop behind it. A good example of this is friend slop, where people feel like the whole genre of friend games is a little too repetitive, and truth be told, I kind of see it, right? But today, the internet is turning on retro slop. According to what I've seen on the internet, people think the whole Y2K, the whole 2010s aesthetic is getting very repetitive. Honestly, I see why they think that way, but at the same time, I don't mind a bit of a nostalgia core, if you will, right? Sometimes I get some cool shit on my Instagram feed, and you know what? It's cool. I fuck with it, right? It kind of tough. Which, by the way, follow my Instagram, by the way. I post heat, trust me. Link in pinned comment. But see, the main complaint nowadays is that this shit is so overdone to the point where it kind of lost all of its aura. And I hate to be the type to unironically use the word aura in my video, but truth be told, that's really what it is. It's like Fruitiger Arrow really ain't the same anymore because people are just trying to monetize this shit as much as possible.
Fruitiger Space is officially on Steam. In this game, inspired by the Promise Futures aesthetic, you will be able to customize your meeple, explore unique islands, play minigames, and much more.
Wowzers, this is so heckin' retro and 2000s core! Showing this to my abusive stepfather who loved this. Alright, bro. Alright. This is the most laziest game ever developed. Big fan of the Fruitiger Arrow aesthetic, but this looks like cheap slop. I hate Roblox, and I feel like I've seen higher quality experiences there. And at the end of the day, that's the main complaint. It's just kind of overdone. But today's prime victim here, quite frankly, the pioneer of the term retro slop, has to go to Roblox. Of course it's Roblox. I feel like 90% of slop terms come from this game. But real quick, before we continue today's video, be sure to subscribe, because we actually do have a tradition on this channel, right? If I hit 189k subscribers by the end of this week, I'll eat the most liked comment. Literally comment whatever you want. I've eaten the worst of the worst, so try to surprise me at 189k subscribers. I got y'all. Anyways, and I do just want to say this real quick. At the end of the day, let people like things, right? Sure, we can find something cringe and all that, but it's like, you know, don't go out of your way to harass someone just because they have an outfit that you don't like. Like, seriously, we're still harassing people in Roblox over outfits in 2025? Lock in, bro. Except Gooner fits. That's a completely different story. You guys can hate on that all you want, bro. I don't care. If you dress like this in a kid's game, bro, you gotta get your shit together. Get a trigger warning, by the way. A job.
Guys, it's my avatar, Silly Goober. Look, that silly gobby.
and that's release the gummies. And yeah, you see here, I'm very retro.
So as mentioned earlier, the main complaint here and the main reason everyone is suddenly bashing on Retroslop is because it's just overdone. And you know, I can't stress this enough, right? In Roblox, in any game you play, you can dress however you want, bro. Nobody's really stopping you. Because I'm not gonna lie, half of these fits do go kinda hard, I gotta admit. But in my opinion, nothing is more cornier than seeing someone who was born in like 2015 acting like they've been playing since like 2010, bro. Like, this shit is surprisingly so much more common than you think. People who have these OG outfits that look so vintage Roblox, right? This fit looks so tough. Their account was made in 2024. Is the retro account in the room with us? How is Lethal Company older than your account, bro? I've seen a lot of people just point fingers at many different corners of Roblox, and honestly, I kind of see where the blame comes from. The main perpetrator in mind is Forsaken. See, the concept of the game is actually like a pretty decent idea, right? Forsaken is basically just Dead by Daylight in Roblox, but the main villains in this game are actually old Roblox creepypastas, like hackers, old players from almost 2 decades ago, etc, etc. Now, personally, I don't play this game, but from what a lot of people say, there are a lot of retro Roblox posers in this game. Do we find that out right now? Screw it, let's let's hop on real quick. I'm playing this on Mac, by the way, so I'm curious to see if this will even play well. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Why is this music so loud, bro? Oh my god. Alright, we got a very Fruitager Metro looking character here. Is that Chrome Hearts in Roblox? Wait, that low-key kind of tough. Alright, we got... Oh, yep, there we go. We got one there, we got another one right there. See, I would go out of my way to check out when these accounts were made, but I feel like that's just kind of mean at that point, so I'm not even gonna do that. But I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say, though, right? I do think, though, that this is one of those things where it is a little overhated. I feel like we gotta admit to that. This is a very, like, popular thing bad kind of situation. But I will admit to this. I do think it's corny as fuck if you get nostalgic over something that you probably weren't even born to experience. I think the thought of that is very cringy in my opinion. Like if you were born in like 2017, I feel like you should be getting nostalgic over Among Us? Wait, what? Wait, what does this generation even get nostalgic over? What? You know what? That's a question I can't really answer, alright? I've also seen a lot of people blame Regretivator. Now, this is a game I have played in the past with viewers and IRL friends. Pretty fun game, but I also do see why people blame that game as well. It does capture a lot of, like, early 2010s Roblox aesthetics. Guys, I'm so retro. Release the gruff. Alright, real talk, though. Work at a pizza place was boring as fuck. I feel like that's something a lot of people don't admit to, but it's like old Roblox was boring as hell. The majority of games back then were not as overstimulating as the games that we're probably used to nowadays, right? I feel like a lot of these Retroslop people really take what they have for granted, honestly, because it's like all we had back then was work at a pizza place and survive the disasters. And welcome to the town of Robloxia, which literally had nothing. It was just a giant city, and that's it. You're just supposed to roleplay in it with no rules, no coding whatsoever. Anyways, that's all I really have to say for today. At the end of the day, just let people like things. Please don't harass someone for dressing away. At the end of the day, this is me just voicing my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go now. Peep is slop out.